Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about a welder that's been getting a lot of attention lately, the Lincoln Electric LE31MP. If you've been on the hunt for a reliable, multi-process welder that won't break the bank, this might be the one. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Now, here's something most people don't realize. Nearly 60% of beginner welders quit within the first year because their equipment either can't handle the job or costs too much to run. That's a huge problem, especially when you're just trying to learn or tackle small projects around the house. The LE31MP is designed to change that by giving you 4 different welding processes in one machine: stick, MIG, Flux-Core, and even TIG if you add the spool gun later. That versatility alone makes it stand out, especially for someone who doesn't want to buy multiple welders just to experiment. Let's start with MIG welding. This is where most people begin, and the LE31MP makes it surprisingly easy. The built-in drive system feeds the wire smoothly, so you don't get those frustrating bird nests or burnbacks that can ruin a project. I've used it on everything from repairing a rusted-out car panel to fabricating a custom bike rack, and the welds come out clean with minimal spatter. Even if you're new to welding, the machine's smooth arc and consistent voltage control help you build confidence fast. Next up is Flux-Core welding. This is a game saver when you're working outside or in windy conditions because you don't need a separate shielding gas. I took this welder to a friend's farm to repair a broken gate, and the wind was blowing pretty hard. The Flux-Core setting handled it like a champ, no gas bottle to lug around, no worries about contamination. It's perfect for outdoor repairs, farm equipment, or even building a shed where ventilation might be an issue. Stick welding is another strong suit. I've used it to weld thick steel plates on a DIY trailer build, and the LE31MP delivered stable arcs even on dirty or rusty metal. The machine automatically adjusts for stick electrodes, so you don't have to fiddle with settings constantly. That's a big deal when you're trying to focus on the weld instead of the machine. Now, TIG welding is where things get interesting. The LE31MP supports TIG, but you'll need to pick up the spool gun separately. Once you do, you can weld aluminum, stainless steel, and even thin sheet metal with precision. I've used it to repair a cracked motorcycle frame, and the control you get with the foot pedal is really impressive for a machine at this price point. It's not as refined as a dedicated TIG welder, but for the occasional project, it's more than capable. One thing I really appreciate is the thermal overload protection. I've pushed this welder pretty hard, welding for 20 minutes straight on a hot day, and it never shut down on me. That's a huge relief when you're in the middle of a project and don't want to wait for the machine to cool off. The setup is straightforward too. The controls are clearly labeled, and the included 10-foot cable makes it easy to move around the workshop. I also like that it runs on standard 120V household power, so you don't need a dedicated circuit or a generator for most jobs. That's a big plus if you're working in a garage or basement where outlets are limited. Now, let's talk about a couple of things to keep in mind. First, the TIG functionality requires an additional spool gun, which isn't included. That's an extra cost, so if TIG is a priority, you'll want to factor that in. Second, the wire feed speed can feel a bit finicky when you're first getting used to it. It's not a deal breaker, but it might take some tweaking to dial in exactly what you need for different materials. Overall, the Lincoln Electric LE31MP is a solid choice for anyone looking to get into welding without spending a fortune. It's versatile, reliable, and built to last. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned DIYer, this welder has you covered for most projects around the house or shop. If you're ready to check it out, the link is below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.